So, out. Okay. So, this is like a more serious topic that we ever done before. Because, we don't do conversations like this, but we can't really hold anything back. Today I have with me is Razzle and History. If you both could say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, like I said before, this is a way more serious topic. As much as I would love to hide these things, we can't just basically go on with our lives as if anything's normal. This friend group, it's not the way people would see it as. We have situations that we desperately need to tell you guys before continuing on. I don't know if I'm going to continue this channel or not. But basically, Kira joined me. But anyways, but like I said before, it's more serious than it needs to. But like, this group has been having issues because of two people, mostly one. His name is Noibat. I call him by a different name. I can tag his channel, but whatever we say, the more info we spill out, please don't go on his channel and raid him. It's not a good look.
Silly, may I please talk to this one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi, my name is Eveything or Razzle, which y'all guys might know me on TikTok as Razzle. But just to let y'all guys know, everyone in the situation are minors under the age of 18. Mostly in the pre-teen ages. Do not go out to harass them or make any type of inappropriate content, adult content, nothing, okay? Just don't do that. Also, some allegations haven't been proven yet. Some of these are stuff that I have randomly thought of because, a situation happened, a few times where a server got raided, and now when I thought about it, I was like, what if that actually happened to them too? So, don't go out harassing anyone, and one of the allegations may or may not be true. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, sit back. I don't know how long this is going to be, but this is very long, so I recommend you pause and get a snack or something. To lighten up the mood, get yourself a full course Chick-fil-A meal. Just say that. But we had our first allegation with Anubis, which he is known as my boyfriend, but there's an issue with that. You want to talk about the allegation, Livia?
Sure. As I stated I was originally going to make my own commentary video on this, but I decided to ask Silly and everyone else about this, so Silly's making her own video. So, when this allegation came around, Norbat and Silly had just started dating, and I was obviously really happy with their relationship. Until we realized that Norbat was faking his age and stated that at the time he was 12, while in reality was 11, meaning that at the time, Silly and Norbat both had a 2 years age gap. Which wouldn't be problematic, obviously, if Norbat didn't lie about his age at the time. Now, not only that he lied about his age, but he uses his age to his advantage to where people always is like, he's a child, he can get away with it. But that's not how it goes. That's like me accidentally killing your whole family and then being like, oh, well, I'm only 12, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, and the thing was, this was in June when I first got with him. But that was
specifically mid-June.
Yeah, mid-June.
And then the allegations came around about June 21st throughout June 24th.
Yes. And this happened, when I woke up, really late in my area. It was, 5 o'clock when, our good friends Dreamy and History told us about what Cam told them. 5 o'clock I joined, and Dreamy told me that there is an emergency. And I was like, oh, I desperately need to join. I should have just got on earlier. And I was shocked when I was told Anubis lied about his age.
Eventually, when we confronted him about this on the Google Meet call, we all mostly experienced middle school. I specifically only experienced the 6th grade, but this year I'm going to experience the 7th grade, obviously. But Anubis didn't experience anything, obviously, since he's only 11 at the time, meaning he's going to start middle school this year of this school year. Whenever we were talking about this, he acted as if he knew what middle school was, etc., etc. Eventually, whenever we confronted him, the first thing he said was, "I'm going to kill myself," and then he ended the call. Which is a problem, obviously, because that's not only empathy baiting, but saying you're going to kill yourself to get yourself out of the situation is also suicide baiting, which can hurt actual suicide victims who can actually kill themselves over small situations like that. Not saying that his feelings are valid, obviously, but I'm saying that he uses this excuse a lot whenever something like this happens.
And me and History, we tried to get him back. He did listen to us, but it's clear he didn't want to get confronted, basically. Like, he said he was gonna grab the rope and everything. We're not sure if he actually does have a rope. Cam said he didn't, but we're not basically sure. But I told him to stop the crap and get on. You know? Because, like, sort of like court. You can't avoid court. You're just gonna go to jail if you just basically avoid it. So I told him...
Eventually, after this allegation, around came, which this is another topic, obviously, so my apologies, silly. I don't know to try taking the role for the video, but around the same time, there was also racism claims of him being apparently racist. Because apparently, Cam was saying that Norbat at the time, was saying racist stuff to ignore the dog that was just shaking her fur, ignore her, anyways. Apparently, Anubis was saying racist stuff such as the N-word, which if you're black, you obviously know what that word is. Well, most people actually know what that word is. Apparently, Norbat said he didn't know what that word meant. But if you didn't know what the word meant, explain why he had the soundboard with that specific word, which you guys know what I mean by that word, and he clicks it to obviously be offensive. If he didn't know what that means, he would know what that means to be offensive. Which is why that was straight up a lie. And this isn't the only time he lies about stuff like this, by the way. He lies about other stuff, too. Which we'll get to that in a few.
Yeah. So, there's not much I could say about the first allegation. But, like, the thing was, he was, like, you know, crying. But the thing was, I don't know if the crying is real. It's possible to fake cry so people could feel bad and not confront you anymore. He said he was saying stuff that he just wanted to fit in, but the thing was not to expose any info about Dreamy's sister, but her sister was a lot younger, and we didn't treat her sister like crap because she was little. I just said we have a person to watch out for and watch her grow. So if anything, if Noibat were to say he was 11, I would have said the same thing like I would have said to Dreamy's sister that's little. You know, have two members to basically watch grow.
And then, not to mention, Norbat at the time, which, these are actual allegations, so yeah. Norbat claimed that he actually, he didn't claim this, but Silly did give us image proof, which I'm pretty sure Silly will, in this video, can put on screen if I can send it back to the GC or private text her.
Yeah.
But Anubis is into something called age play, which means whenever someone who's specifically submissive, mostly the girl in the situation, but this time it's gender swaps because of the ages, will be submissive and will act like a child between the toddler and infant ages. Now, even though this isn't remotely related to pedophilia at all, the way that he was describing it and the way that he was role-playing it obviously was supposed to be a reference to pedophilia, which is why I randomly thought, hey, what if this guy is a pro-shipper? Especially since Silica told me that in a roleplay with Norbat wanted when it's silly to act like an abuser while he was a victim, which is an abuser-ex-victim situation which shouldn't be romanticized, sexualized, or glorified, because that's pro-shipping.
Because I was making him something on Minecraft called the respect statue. For those who, like, respect me, of course. I was going to make y'all one, but I wasn't sure, like, what symbol you wanted. And I was on a call with him at the time. I was at my mom's house. And, you know, he always wants to be the small one, like an inch smaller than me. Because he said, oh, you're like 9 feet. And I'm like, what? And the thing is, he doesn't tell me that we're role playing. It's basically what I call on-called for role plays. Because he doesn't let anyone know that you're in a role play. He just straight gets to the point and starts role playing. And that's when he said, hey, what if I made you like the one that hits me? Like you're an angry, toxic, excuse me? An angry, toxic girlfriend is what you're trying to tell me.
Wait,
that you wanted me to be.
You, silly. But if you guys don't know what the definition of pro-shipping is, which you should, but for those who don't know, my phone's about to die, but who cares? Pro-shipping is whenever someone, or mostly a community of people who suffer from trauma or does this for fun, which you shouldn't do this for fun, but pro-shipping's real term is called comp shipping. Comp shipping is whenever you take something that's obviously illegal in the real world, in this case, an abuser ex-victim. You're not supposed to glorify this since that's abuse, and it's disrespectful towards people who actually experience abuse from their boyfriends, girlfriends, or anyone at that point.
Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't know what to do in that situation because I had no excuse to lie about to get myself out of the situation. So I forced myself to stay and everything. But at one point, I was able to get out of that situation by just basically just saying, oh, my phone is about to die and my mom's about to take me somewhere. So I was able to get myself out of that situation.
And this age play thing is not surprising, knowing that he's also an emotional groomer. Someone who mostly grooms a victim, usually that's younger, by the way, which, just gonna say this right quick, for anyone watching, just because Silly was older in the situation doesn't mean she should have known what to do, because I do know there's a lot of people who's gonna use that excuse, or say, oh, Silly's a pedophile in this situation, and no, she isn't. She was groomed to stay in a relationship that she didn't want to be in, due because of Anubis saying that Norbat. Due because Norbat was saying that he was going to try killing himself. She was groomed into a relationship she didn't even want to be in for a month and a half.
Especially from someone who's literally 11 years old and they knew exactly how to groom someone into a relationship.
Which is funny, because at the time of, like I said, the racism claims, he also was being racistly offensive towards two girls who, I don't know their actual names, I'm going to be calling them by their Discord names, Cosmo and Sprout. This is where I said I don't know if this is a confirmed allegation or not. Cosmo or Sprout needs to confirm this. Cosmo and Sprout, as in the time of making this video, I still believe is a lesbian couple. So, yay, they're gay. That's a good thing, I guess.
Yes.
Anyways, and with the rest of the video, at the time, Norbat had stated that they were being rude towards Silly, which there is proof of. No matter how rude they are, though, I do not know if they were also groomed into being in a relationship, which is why they're so disrespectful towards them. So, obviously, this allegation may or may not be true or false.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, when you mentioned his ex-girlfriends, I was thinking, wait, what if they were emotionally groomed and they acted the way they acted? So, if anything, they could have just been experiencing the same exact thing that I was going through.
Now, I don't know if I still have this. Hold up. Because it's somewhere around here, guys. It takes a long time for me to get my pages of research.
And it's taken me a long time to get through this stage on here, but that's...
My dog is currently panting loudly. If you hear her in the background, Lola, please don't sit on my phone. I beg of you. Don't sit on my notebook either, please. You know what? Hold up, guys. I'll be right back.
But this is all, like, allegation 1. We have multiple other allegations, but Anubis did at one point have an allegation against us too. But but I will speak about, what is it? Allegation 2 history? I'll speak about it. Don't worry. You can say something if you need to, but, like, this is, like, allegation 2. I forgot what this was on.
Silly, I'm sending you, some of the proof pictures of the grooming and stuff. So just in case you need to put that in the video, you can.
Can you send me on phone so I don't have to...
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Ew, he messaged me. Okay. So allegation 2, I sorta forgot what it was, but it was something about my, what was it? Sexual drama, I believe. I'm not sure. I know it had something to do with that. But, like, I am not so sure. But the thing is, I told him before, when I first had to talk to Liv about it, actually, he was saying things like, please, let me look. I have it on screen right now. Please, stop, you mean? Passed out. Now, can I have them? Please, just one look. One look. Please. I'm not trying to show his, user. And then he sent me an eggplant emoji. Now, we all know some people, dirty-minded people, would love to just give, random fruits or vegetables just a different meaning. But we all know exactly what he's talking about. Except he's talking about himself.
If I could speak right quick, just to let viewers know.
Yeah, this is allegation 2.
Emoji means.
This is allegation 2.
Some emojis have different meanings now in today's timeline. If you're watching this in, like, I don't know, 1984 or something. But, just to let you guys know, eggplant emoji means penis.
Basically.
And the cherry emoji means breast, obviously, which a lot of people know this by now.
It also means something else. Also, Liv, it also means something else, not just upper woman part.
Booty
it means
cheeks.
something else. No, I'm not gonna get too personal with it, but you should know. The front.
Oh!
Yeah. Which I actually have an image of that too. So, like, this is what I think we had allegation 2 on. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to explain. But I circled red marker looks at her cherry. Now, this is a mixture of allegation 3, but we need to get to the allegation 2 part, which I sadly don't remember. But I remember...
Allegation 2 was about how Anubis... Allegation 2 was about how Norbat was isolating us away from you, and how I discovered that was a sign of grooming. So, yeah.
But it's also when I was on a Discord call with him and Cam, I was muted, but that doesn't mean I'm away from the computer. I was laying down at one point. And I heard Noibat say, Silly pulls down her pants every day for me. Are you serious, dude? Like, I was very uncomfortable to the point I had to get up from my comfort area, had to go to my computer, and I left the call. He said, of course he messages when I leave the call, I'm sorry, or where did Silly go? And I typed, that's incredibly fucking disgusting how you would joke about me pulling down my pants in front of you when you know damn well I wouldn't actually do that. And all he said...
Because that would be COCSA, no matter who actually consented. Because kids can't consent to sex.
No.
Yay!
And all he said, when I typed that out, all he said was, I'm sorry.
Now, the worst part about this situation is that Anubis, Silly has SA trauma. So do I, specifically COCSA trauma, which can obviously cause severe PTSD if triggered. Now, Norbat knew this at the time. Norbat acted as if he didn't know this. Oh wait, wanna know what's funny? He also states that he doesn't know something when he clearly does, and he's using it as an excuse. So, like, he will, like, I understand if you have, like, low memory, but last time I checked, he doesn't. Now, the thing about Norbat, whenever he says this excuse, whenever you look through this excuse, he says, oh, I lied about that, but I didn't know. I didn't actually know. Yes you did, because most kids know what the eggplant emoji means. Like, how do you, like, I know what that means, and that's not okay. I know what the cherry emoji means. And yet, whenever we use context clues, he wants to get upset about this. Neither he dropped it in the second grade, way too early, or he just doesn't know what context clues is. Because generally, if you use context clues, you obviously know what he was actually saying.
And considering that, I'm not going to reveal our ages, but I can just say I'm 13. Considering that I know exactly what he's talking about, and for excuse, by the way, his excuse, because this is actually a mixture between allegation 3 and everything, but the thing is, he said, he thought the cherry, he put in the cherry emoji, he said he didn't know what it meant. He said, I was just thinking about, I had cherries around me. I had the fruit cherries around me. So I thought I wanted to see your cherries. That is a terrible lie to say for an excuse of, I didn't know what cherry meant.
Yeah.
That is...
Like I said before, neither he doesn't know what context clues is, or he thinks we're generally gullible and stupid. Because from my perspective, when I called him out about this, I told him, hey, so just so you know, most of us are actually teenagers, or preteens. We actually have common sense, and we can use context clues, and we know what you're talking about. If Silly is sending photos to you, and you put a cherry emoji, we obviously know what you're saying, because we can use context clues.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not dumb either. I know exactly what he meant by the cherry emoji. It's pretty common use for secret words for that stuff. So.
And at the time of making this, along the time of whenever this started happening, Dilly also was getting isolated away from everyone, and that's when I realized it was grooming. Now, call me someone who looks too much into situations all you want, but I've been in the commentary space since I was 7 years old, and I can identify grooming, especially since I was in a grooming experience before. And along this time, I had realized this isolation wasn't regular isolation. Usually, whenever your friends isolate each other, it's usually because something toxic had happened, but I know almost everyone in this friend group all of a sudden. No one is toxic in this group, from what I know, except for Cam. We'll get to him later. Anyways, at the time, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's emotionally grooming you. At first, we brushed it off as a joke, obviously, but then eventually at the end of this, when I sent photo proof of what I was saying with defined definitions in an article, we realized it was actually emotional grooming, which is disgusting, by the way. Which is where I want to also put in this part of the video. Once again, don't start saying it's Silly's fault. It's not. She was forced to be in a relationship she didn't want to be in because of how Norbat was claiming that he was going to kill himself, which is not okay, obviously. And whenever I discovered that he was grooming her, he was like, I wasn't grooming anyone. Which is, the funny thing is, I had said before then, you act like an emotional groomer. Which means he knew what he was doing before all of that. Before I even called him out for being an emotional groomer, I had said, you act like an emotional groomer. And now he had to search up what an emotional groomer is, and I even gave him a detailed definition, which meant now he knew what he was doing, and he was taking that towards his advantage.
Which we're actually about to move on to allegation 3, where we were finally done with this. After learning that he was emotionally grooming me, which I am not I'm not trying to cry as I speak this, but this is the final when we're done. Yes, Razzle?
Sorry to interrupt again, but also I'd just like to put something right here. just because no nudes were shared doesn't mean it's not grooming. I don't understand why everyone thinks that. Like, whenever I shared my grooming experience and I said it was art, people's like, oh, it wasn't actual nudes, it was an actual CP. No, that's not how it works. Grooming still works like that. Even if there's no nudes or anything being shared, which is the most common type of grooming, but still, it's still grooming. Even if the person's younger, even if the person's older, even if it's your father, even if it's your mom, even if that's a stuffed animal grooming you, it's still grooming. I don't understand why no one understands this. Which meant at the time, not only was she being groomed into a situation where this wouldn't happen, but by the time she told me that Anubis was telling her sexual topics after the isolation, I had said, yeah, that's grooming. And I had just gave her a whole entire article on Google about what grooming is. And now we knew that he was actually grooming.
I can show on here because I have the file. Where did it go? Okay. We're not going to get into the detail, but I'm only going to read the stage like he is on with me. But desensitization and boundary blurring. Gradually, the groomer might introduce inappropriate topics or behaviors, testing boundaries and desensitizing the target to increasingly harmful actions. Meaning, this is what he was doing. To the point where I'm about to hit the stage where he could have revealed his abusive side if I were to stay with him, which is called exploitation. Once the victim
Which is a good thing that we stopped this early, so this way none of this happened. Because for all we know, that could not actually be him. Like, yeah, that is him, but still, that for all we know, his father could know about this, and he could take this and post it on really weird sites for CP. Happened to me, so I know that. So don't do that, guys. Just
like it says.
I don't know why I have to tell this to teenage boys. But if your girlfriend doesn't want to roleplay with you, well, no, this goes for anyone in general. Hey, so if your girlfriend doesn't want to roleplay with you, and you get mad, I'm a teenage girl. I don't have to walk up to you and be like, ooh, grooming? No, don't do that, guys. You should know not to groom people. And I'm generally surprised that he knows about grooming, and knows that he was specifically grooming her, and acting as if he didn't.
Yeah. And exploitation. Once the victim is sufficiently manipulated dependent, the groomer moves toward exploitation, which can include sexual abuse, financial exploitation, or other forms of harm. But the thing is, we don't know what he could have done if we got to that stage, if I didn't leave anytime soon. He could just force the adult things into the role plays I do with him, and force me to be a controller of the situation. Or he could actually try to get me to send him photos that I wouldn't want to send. Which we all know.
Or he can send you photos. Or he can send you photos, or he can do anything. Grooming, specifically sexual grooming, is specifically really hard to realize that it is grooming, because people get confused with the definition, which I don't, like, I'm making a whole video about grooming anyways after this, but to basically explain it, people mostly think that emotional grooming, specifically sexual emotional grooming, evolves around nudes. No, it doesn't. It evolves around any type of sexual stuff. Like, what if the abuser sends his nudes or her nudes? That's emotional grooming. You send yours, that's emotional grooming. You send any type of inappropriate content, or they send inappropriate content, that's emotional grooming. Art, that's emotional grooming. I don't care. It's still emotional grooming if it's sexual and you didn't consent to it, and if you're a child.
And like this is all like basically third allegation. When we first tried to confront him, I told him, hey, it's something important and we need you. And he already knew it was an allegation towards him. Thing was, he said, if I see one more goddamn allegation towards me, Daddy is gonna be angry. That's basically what he's telling me. He's gonna be all mad, boo-hoo, and basically do whatever he possibly could. Which means he didn't want to have an allegation towards him. But the thing was, he is causing us to have allegations towards him, because he is doing things he shouldn't. So, So, yeah. So he
It's
knew
one
it
of
was
my
an
feelings looking
allegation.
at the camera like this. It's because when you said, Daddy's gonna get angry, I got concerned.
No, that's basically what he's telling me at this point. Like, let's just be for real. Like,
Anyways,
as serious as we're trying to be, that's what he's telling me, basically.
Anyways, along this topic of grooming, I'm gonna say this once again, age play is nowhere near pedophilia, but the way that he was describing it obviously was pedophilia, which means that that could have been a type of, not saying it was exploitation, it definitely wasn't, but it could have been involved with the exploitation part, which is obviously disgusting, by the way. So yeah, not to mention, age play, it wouldn't be that bad. I don't mind what you're into. Whatever your fetish is, I don't care, as long as it's not around me. It would have been okay if Silly and Norbat were two consenting adults over the age of 18 that obviously consented to do stuff like this. But no, Silly didn't consent. Anubis is a child, Silly is a child, and Silly didn't consent to any of this, which meant that it's definitely grooming.
And it doesn't matter what age it is. You could literally start grooming at a child age.
Exactly. Which people don't understand that either. Sexual grooming can happen from other children. Please stop acting as if it doesn't. Most people who are actually groomers just so happen to be teenage boys, which is really weird, by the way. Why teenage boys? I don't know, but every single one I have heard of somehow is either a 45-year-old man that lives in his mom's basement or some teenage boy who is also somehow a frat boy from the local high school musical wannabe movie. Anyways, so, yeah.
And, with the third allegations, Anubis, saying things like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that, I'm trying to be funny, blah, blah, blah. I thought we were done when I finally blocked him until he decided to pull some absolute bullshit that had me lose my temper completely. History? You want to talk about that?
About what you did?
Yeah, what he said to you.
So, to say exactly, I love you. I love to be friends, but you and Silly in the group can't be friends, which means you were trying to separate me specifically away from everyone else, and especially Silly, to make sure I don't get in the way.
Yeah. And, I think what started Anubis, Noibat's jealousy is when me and History said, yo, me and History agreed on being twins, being siblings. That could have what just set Anubis off completely. And I can tell you, I was mad as heck, because, no way would he really do that. Trying to separate someone that's like a brother to me. And trying to separate him from us, that's basically his family in one way. And I was upset.
Oh, sorry. And then, not to mention, he also did the same thing with me, but, before any of that, before private texting anyone, he started to private text me knowing that I was the one with the most proof. Which, little note, by the way, because I'm a commentary YouTuber and I do commentary content, I make sure immediately as soon as I get messages, I save the proof. And at the time, I don't even know what time it was. I think it was 1 o'clock at night. Please tell me why I get sent a message from him, which is just so random, but it was like, hey, so do you want to talk and have a bit of fun? I don't want to have fun with you.
Hell no!
I don't want to hear. No, because this is how I heard the message. This is sarcasm, obviously, to lighten up the mood. So don't worry. It sounded like this to me. Hey, baby girl. So, do you want to have fun? I don't want to have fun with you. Please get away from me. Anyways.
She has...
On this day, Silly actually had blocked Anubis, I believe. I don't know for sure, because he said that apparently he got blocked from you. And whenever I said this, I had already started a plan on what I was going to say. I was going to say that she was at overnight therapy, which she wasn't, obviously. And I had also just said that her therapist told her to get off the internet, but to like she's allowed to play games and stuff like that. And then he had called me at 1:00 at night. Hey, so I'm going to kill myself. What?
What? That's what he said to you?
Okay, I want you guys to imagine this. You're sleeping in your bed, trying to get some rest because school is about to come in, and because you just came probably down from a manic attack from for like 2 whole months, you're trying to go to sleep, right? And the next thing you know, you get a message, and then you get called on your phone, and then you press the accept button, and then next thing you hear, I'm gonna kill myself. What? That felt like a fever dream that day. I will never forget that day when someone randomly called me at 3 a.m. at night, probably, just to tell me that they're gonna kill themselves over a person. I'm sorry to say this. I have a girlfriend, a beautiful girlfriend named Naomi. She lives away from my house. We can go see each other though, because we literally basically live in a triangle type area. But if she doesn't have a phone. But we go to the same school. I'm not gonna start crying instantly if I don't get to call her. Yeah, I get lonely sometimes. I'm not able to see my bestie. But you know what? You wanna know what's kind of bad about it? Yeah, I get lonely, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna straight up kill myself just to keep someone inside of a situation that they don't want to be in. Like, if she wanted to break up, okay, you're cool. That's alright with me. Like, that's obviously okay. But I don't even know why, at the time, Norbat was acting as if it wasn't like that. Because I remember when Silly and Norbat tried breaking up, please tell me why Norbat started to act as if he was, like, crying and saying that he was going to commit suicide and stuff. And just when I get to Cam right quick, Cam had told me, stop telling him about what he's doing wrong. That's how self-harm starts. I'm sorry, so you want me not to tell him to take accountability. Okay. And then we wonder why this group is falling apart. Which I'm not saying it's always going to be his fault. I'm just saying he's the common denominator, which means he's mostly the reason why this friend group has fallen apart in the first place.
And considering, speaking of therapy, I know Noibat has, like, issues, but the thing is, he knew he had other people. But he expects me to be there 24/7 with him. I gave him the same advice when it comes to apparently voices in his head. He comes to me almost every single day with the same situation. I gave him the same exact advices. I don't think he wants to take my advices. No matter how much he thinks it doesn't work, trust me, if you actually tried, it would have worked. It would have helped him. And the thing is, he ignored the 2 times I told him coming up to me with this situation, it's causing me anxiety because I wouldn't know what to do, and I know I couldn't stop him if he's actually going to. Now, he knew that from the start, but he doesn't bother to acknowledge that I had anxiety.
No, not only this, but if Silly's not around, you know who he comes to first? Me, because I know Silly in real life. Which is really funny on how he comes to the person who obviously doesn't want to hear from him, knowing that I have more proof of him being narcissistic and a groomer. So basically every single time Silly, okay, here's a good example. Silly, okay, let's say she goes to the mall so she can get herself a really cool outfit because she's a really cool person. And the next thing you know, at 1 o'clock in the morning, I get the worst call ever from Norbat himself, and he asks, "You don't know where Silly is." I'm sorry, but she's currently asleep at the moment. Oh my god! But are you sure she's asleep? Basically, you know how, I don't know if you guys had this as a kid, but you know whenever it's around your birthday, and, your mom's having, a really big birthday party, and your mom has, a gift, and she's like, "This is for this." And I'm like, "Oh, are you sure that's for that?" And I just ask 7,000 times, "Are you sure?" Basically, that's him, as if he's saying that she either tried killing herself or she got murdered or something along the lines of that. Which is really weird on how he would mostly come to me about it, knowing that if she got hurt, I'm gonna probably drive to the hospital. just to go see her. It's funny. Not to mention, obviously trying to get me on his good side, which he'll never get on my good side, no matter how. You know what? Just gonna say this real quick, not saying that everyone's bad towards me. No one's on my good side. I don't have a good side or a bad side. I'm just an overly serious person that can also be overly silly sometimes. Which is why whenever Anubis calls me specifically about something, he specifically wants to call me before he tells Silly. So like any type of allegation, when they talk about it, he wants to go quiet because apparently, okay, let me be quiet because this person actually has real proof, which not saying everyone else doesn't have real proof, obviously. I'm just saying, almost half the time when I talk about something with him, he wants to go quiet, and last time I actually talked with him, he started to act narcissistic and started to act as if he was cool by sending sleeping gifts inside the chat. And the next thing you know, while I'm talking to him, he starts making this voice. You guys remember those Roblox Slenders from 2021? So imagine one of those, except he thinks he's edgy, and then he was over here, like, every single time I said something, right? Like, this is basically him. Like, I'd be like, hey, so what you're doing is not okay. What I was doing was not okay. Can you not speak into your microphone like that? Anyways.
Like, can you not, like, gobble on your mic for a second, dude? Like you're deep throwing it?
This is him. No, look, when he goes to school, like, it's funny because at the time, I had told that there was a building called Grooming, like a school that was literally called Grooming, and I said, Silly, is it a school that Anubis goes to? Anyways. Also, we called Anubis a new bitch once. Anyways, basically, whenever I was talking to him, he basically just kept on doing this every single time I said something that's actually logical for once. Like, hey, so if you don't know we have context clues, that's what I said. And the next thing you know, he does this. I never said we had no context clues.
Oh, girl. Like, I was sorta listening into, like, y'all fighting, but I also wasn't. I heard him mumble, broke. He's trying to call you broke. He tried to call you broke. And this is when Cam forced me to talk to Anubis. When I was telling Anubis about all... I don't know who keeps joining.
Pardon me, there was an interruption. Mom had called me.
Oh. What, Walmart?
No! My mom.
Oh. But no, this was when Cam forced me to talk with Anubis. I thought Cam would easily let me go. No. I left. He added me back. I left. He added me back. He left. He added me back. He left. I left. He added me back. He doesn't want me to leave. He's clearly trying to either have me lose my temper or just have a blown anxiety attack because I did not want to talk to Anubis, nor do I want to hear his bullshit.
And that's when they said, add me to that server, let me talk with them.
Yeah, and I asked them kindly, can I add Liv? And I added Liv. To the point...
So, now I would like to take accountability for this. I crashed out in the middle of that call because of how much Anubis was interrupting me. Like, can you please shut up? And then the next thing you know, Silly had said something about the Bible, like, as a joke. Obviously not trying to offend religion or anything. She's not Bella Wolf, I promise you guys. But she said something along the lines of, like, why are you, like, you're trying to read a notebook like it's the Holy Bible, like it's gonna save you. And the next thing you know, Anubis starts trying to do some priest stuff. Coming from someone
he brought the whole fucking religious.
The church. If this was the church, I'd be wearing my white dress with some Mary Janes right now and some stockings with a flower crown and walking to the local church where I'm supposed to be right now. Like, I'm sorry. Who said this was a church? You are not God. You're not a priest. Last time I checked.
Like, dude, like, he's, like, basically being all mad at me. No, because he wants to say, I'm not mad at you for who the hell is Munchkin? Okay, I am not mad at you, but why would you bring in God into this situation? Bro, all I said was, are you reading the notebook like it's your Bible and a passive save? And then he wants to make the conversation the whole... No, because Cam said, well, since you want to make me and Anubis talk when we're mad, how about you two? I didn't want to talk to him. And the thing is, Cam didn't even tell me that he was going to. Didn't ask
And
or
Cam
let him
also
know.
reasonably tries erasing people from calls or like it's not even because he doesn't want to hear them yell. That's the fun part. That's the thing I realized. It's not because of that, but it's every single time I said something reasonable, Liv got kicked up the call. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Hold up, guys. That's my mom. But I'm sorry, did I do something wrong just because I'm being reasonable and I'm talking about something that's obviously reasonable, so now you're upset because I'm saying something reasonable?
Like,
That was a little reasonable in one sentence.
Like, dude, they didn't have to kick you out like that because you're speaking reasonable things, but their excuse was you're being too loud. I had to explain to them what bipolar was.
Which, if you guys don't know, I have bipolar type 1, which means I can have manic episodes. At the time of doing that, I had manic episodes. If you guys don't know, when you're having a manic episode, you get, like, irritated really quickly, which means at the time, I was holding in all of my yelling. At this point, I wanted to just yell like I was in a hardcore metal band and throw my phone across the room, stomp on my bed, then throw my phone out the apartment window on the highest floor. Like, that's what it feels like. And now he obviously knew this, and which is why he specifically, like, I told him this before. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. And you know the part that had me giggling, waggling, and curling my toes?
Okay.
Apparently, whenever I was saying something reasonable for once, not only did he hit me with that, I want to be Danny Danger, Daddy Daring, or something along the lines of that. What was that one theater arts meme we had, silly? Daddy Danger? That was him. Not only he wanted to sound like Daddy Danger from Charlie Danger, but at this point, he was literally trying to act as if he was edgy, but when I called him out for that behavior, I'm not being edgy. If I was edgy, I was gonna end up like you. Which is funny because I'm into alternative dressing, specifically scene. I'm sorry, I don't act edgy. Out of everyone in this group, I'm not edgy. I'm just serious or silly.
And the thing was, like, apparently I was, like I said before, I was forced to shake imaginary, non-existent VR hands, shake hands, and be cool. I stayed, but I wasn't responding, and Anubis is like, you know, I'm surprised we're getting along. And I said, well, that's because I wouldn't hesitate to actually beat your ass, but I'm not gonna be like that. Or just be like those people. So I'm actually chilling. And what I mean by beat his ass, I could come over to where he lives. I'm not leaking. But I can actually beat his ass if I wanted to. I just need my dad's permission. So.
Me too. I'm bringing a chainsaw with me.
Okay, no. You know, but I'm not trying to sound like the cool kid, tough girl.
We're not trying to sound edgy. We're literally just saying the truth. He's built like a toothpick, and that's not me skinny shaming. That's just me being for real. He's built like a Battle for Dream Island character's leg. I could easily break him in half like a fucking peanut brittle. Like, that's how he looks.
This is one way.
Coming from someone who's legitimately chubby, by the way. I could grab him horizontally and break him like a peanut butter. Like, that's how. And then here's the thing: when I told him that what he was doing, everything he was doing was obviously disrespectful. Tell me why he hits me with this voice again. Not disrespectful. First of all, why are you so up close to your microphone? I can hear your spit entering the speaker.
Don't forget, he wants to be all emo, aggressive towards Liv until Liv got kicked out. He suddenly wants to be all soft, all father-loving. So, I need to talk to you. Why do you need to change up as if you did not act like a complete asshole towards Liv?
It's like, it's giving those people who generally change personalities around people, not people with DID. I'll get to that later. But I did suspect the DID for a few. But he, eventually, he said, he was like, this was basically him. Like, I'm not even trying to joke. You can put my face and feel all you want, because this was him every single time I said something reasonable. Like, hold up. This was him. He was over here doing that. Girl, how dare you say something reasonable? Now I'm gonna turn edgy. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's just him.
Not right now.
And then he claimed that he wasn't trying to be edgy. Yes, you were. It's like every single time I joined the call, he wants to get defensive, knowing that I have a lot of proof. But that's funny because when I was in private with him, he wants to act all small and innocent because I'm just a baby. Get out.
Now, there's not much more we could say, but the thing is, Anubis is out of the group. I'm trying my best to ignore him, but this is all we have right now. Thank you a lot for half of you watching this. Thank you for listening to us.
There's one more about what he did to the rest of the group. That me and Dreamy were supposed to explain, but Dreamy isn't here at the moment.
Yes, go on. Who killed me? Okay.
So, me and Dreamy, so what Anubis would do to us was, if like, let's say, me, Silly, and Anubis were in the call, Anubis would completely avoid me and would focus really on Silly and like talk to her, not really paying attention that I'm there, talking to both of you guys. And same with Dreamy. And whenever we would play, it's like me, Dreamy, Silly, and Anubis. He would really only want to play with Silly. He would only listen to Silly, and then leaving me and Dreamy out. And so that's really all I had. I wish kind of Dreamy was here because she also had some stuff that I don't have, but that's all I have.
Yeah, and the thing is, don't forget, like, he's still doing, like, this favoritism bullshit. Like, complete favoritism. And I mean, like, by favoritism, he, like, when we were all playing Forsaken before, we had Cam and everything. Hold on. I need a burp. Help. Okay. Oh? Excuse me? Anyways. But no, we were all playing Forsaken. Right, History?
Yeah.
He tried to make me murder about, like, 5 times when I didn't want to. I only went once. But the thing was, when he said, alright, because he basically is like the moderator in the server, in the private server, he said, alright, everyone say me if you want to be killer. I barely said me. I barely said it. Cam was the loudest out of all of us. And then Anubis, he went, well, I heard Silly. How does me and Cam sound familiar? Like, how do I sound like anybody else did? And the meanest thing he fucking pulled when Cam was killer, like, it's clear Anubis didn't want to make him a murderer. Because I said, when he said, oh, Silly should go again, I said, how about you do Cam because he hadn't been killer. The fucking most meanest move he pulled, he ended the round and changed the killer into him. When Cam, he didn't get a kill at all. Like, the round barely started. It was 5 seconds in or 10, and it said round over. Which means Anubis purposely ended the round when it was Cam's turn. Like, that was, like, a complete dick move right there. Like, you can't tell me that's not a dick move.
Guys, I swear my mom kept on calling me. I'm sorry.
No, we were talking about how, whenever I play with History and Dreamy, Anubis would only listen to me and not them. And I mentioned the dick move that he pulled on Cam when he was a killer. Not even, like, 10 seconds in, Anubis ended the round. And I knew it was him because he's able to do that. It was his server. And I said, dude, that was a dick move. And Anubis was like, I'm sorry. Like, dude.
We forgot to mention that Cam also, I'm eating spicy chips.
Wait, what?
Ow, my throat.
What history?
Remember
Dreamy,
not
and if we want to get her on the support,
Wait, what?
Dreamy's on. If we want to have her do some stuff, if we want to switch.
Yeah, let's switch, actually. Well, we'll be right back, guys.
Alright, guys,
We're almost
don't change
recording
the
too.
channel. Hold up, guys. Let me say something I say in every one of my commentary videos, which I know there's gonna be an ad. Alright, guys. We're gonna switch. Here's an ad break. Don't change the channel. Guys, I'm sorry for being corny. Anyway.